Etsy lights up the darkness in Thiruparankundram. The Thiruparankundram hill hosts both the Subramanya Swami, also known as Kartikeya or Murugan, temple and the Sikandar Badusha Dargah, and has been in the center of a storm since time immemorial. But the recent controversy in December of 2025 brought the conflict into a very sharp focus. On 4th of December 2025, Rama Ravikumar moved the Madurai bench of the Madras High Court seeking an order to light the lamp on the festival of Kartikeya Deepam on the Deepathoon or stone pillar atop the hill, altering the century-old practice of lighting the lamp at the Deepa Mandapam near Uchi Pillayar temple, Pillayar being Lord Ganesha. But the HRNCE officials went ahead and lit the Deepam at the Uchi Pillayar temple in the evening. Rama Ravikumar thereafter informed the court that the order had not been executed, and Justice G.R. Swaminathan asked CISF personnel guarding the High Court premises to accompany the petitioner with 10 people to the hills to help light the lamp. Insofar as the DMK government's act of defying the court order is concerned, Justice Swaminathan said, and I quote Justice Swaminathan here, "The state administration has decided to cock a snook at this court's order. Defying the order would sound the death knell of democracy itself." The Madurai district administration, of course, went ahead and imposed prohibitory orders under section 144 in Thiruparankundram Hill until further orders, quoting law and order issues in the area. Post this slugfest on 12th of December, over 100 India Bloc MPs moved an impeachment motion against Justice G.R. Swaminathan, accusing him of what they call proven misbehavior, misconduct, even as the Tamil Nadu government had submitted that there was no evidence to establish that the stone pillar in Thiruparankundram Hill was a Deepathoon. The Madras High Court today upheld a single judge's decision to allow the lighting of the Kartikeya Deepam at the Deepathoon or pillar on the lower of the two peaks atop the Thiruparankundram hillock, which houses both the Subramanya Swami temple and the Sikandar Badusha Dargah. A bench of justices J. Jayachandran and K.K. Ramakrishnan criticized the Tamil Nadu government for citing apprehension of law and order issues and public peace as a reason for not complying with the order. The bench came down heavily on the DMK government and said it was ridiculous and an imaginary ghost created by the authorities, dismissing several appeals filed by the state government, the Hindu Religious and Charitable Endowment, that is HRNCE department, and representatives linked to the adjoining Sikandar Badusha Dargah. Justices G. Jayachandran and Ramakrishnan held that Justice G.R. Swaminathan's earlier direction did not create a new religious practice, but merely enable the exercise of an existing right on temple-owned land. Let me quote the court here yet again, and as follows. Lighting of the Kartikeya Deepam is an essential religious practice of the temple. State has no authority to interdict such practice by invoking prohibitory orders when the land on which the practice is sought to be performed does not belong to the objector. Insofar as the state government's apprehension of law and order issues in the area and the collector's imposing of section 144 is concerned, the court noted that the prohibitory order had been issued after the single judge's directive and appeared designated to neutralize it. I'm quoting the bench here again because it's very important to understand what the Honorable Court said. The sequence of events gives rise to a reasonable interference that the prohibitory order was passed as a defensive measure to avoid compliance. The apprehension of law and order was an imaginary ghost created by the state authorities for their convenience to put one community against the other. Suspicion. More than the political impact of the court allowing the lighting of the Deepam on the Deepathoon. Ladies and gentlemen, this order also affirms what is guaranteed in our constitution, and that being not only the right to practice one's religion, but also practice it by adhering to ancient precepts. Let's first listen to some of the voices on the matter before I get into the debate.
The Honorable Division Bench has said that the lighting of lamp is a must and it has to be lit at the top of the Thiruparankundram hill. And they have said the HRNC authorities and the temple administration are duty bound to light the lamp. Court have come down heavily on the government and they have said as after the order of the land single judge have been passed, the act that has happened seemed to be mischievous. If the stand of the government that there could be a law and order problem, to be true, then it is obviously either a failure on the part of the state to maintain its law and order, or for the deliberate purpose for the state has taken a stand to support one religion.
It is extremely unfortunate that the state government went in appeal against the Honorable Judge's order, clearly reflecting a bias against Hindu Dharam, against Sanatan Dharam, clearly reflecting an anti-Hindu mindset. In fact, showing the hatred that Mr. Stalin, his son Mr. Udaynidhi, and the DMK party and their friends in the India Alliance have against Hindu Dharma.
Let me now welcome the guest into the debate. Salem Dharanidharan, spokesperson for the DMK, has joined us, and Kalyana Raman, senior leader BJP from Tamil Nadu. Thank you both for making the time. Vanakkam to both of you. Dharanidharan. Vanakkam. Dharanidharan, let me come to you first. You know, what really stood out is when the bench said that the apprehension, or the what they called as the ghost of fear, was an imaginary ghost created by state authorities for their convenience to put one community against the other. They could have used this opportunity to bring the two communities closer. I know that the debate there is centuries old, but you know what? From February onwards, it had been lit up a lot, and I'm not apportioning blame to you at all, your party rather, I beg your pardon. But what do you have to say this when they say that the ghost of apprehension, this which the court also called ridiculous, is that you create something so that the two communities, there is more of a strife between two communities?
Hi, good evening. Thank you for having me in the show. So I also have a very kind request to my friend Kalyan Raman that whatever he wants to make, he can make in his time, but not to overspeak when I speak. Otherwise, he's a very fine gentleman. Just that he just speaks over me, and that's the only problem. But apart from that, let me go and see. The verdict is very unfortunate because the verdict undermines the legitimacy of the HRNC department, which is entrusted with taking care of the temple. Second, the chief minister always gives legitimacy and sanctity to the institutions. Thirdly, there's a long-standing customary practice. This is not the practice that came after the DMK. It's been a practice for more than hundreds of years to Deepam to be lit at Uchipuliyar temple, which is why we've been insisting on it, because the tradition should continue. And more importantly, Hindus also want it to be lit there. Fourth, it also lacks proof that the traditional Deepatun is where the petitioner wants the Deepam to be lit. These are the important points, which is why we had gone for the status quo. We're listening to the HRNC temple under which the temple belongs. The past judgment until this one, I've always said the HRNC temple authorities and the priests will decide whether Deepam should be lit. Even when Jayalalitha was there, that was the procedure. Even she was there, she would have definitely gone against this judgment and gone for an appeal. Even the two leading leaders of the AADMK, Sellu Raju, as well as Jayakumar, what have they have said that the customary practice of lighting the Deepatun at Uchipuliyar temple has to be continued. Otherwise, it will result in communal disharmony, or it is not otherwise culturally correct. Is what even BJP's alliance partner, AADMK's leaders have commented in the public. And again, law and order is a state subject. So the police takes a view, it's an independent institution which takes a view that it has nothing to do with minority appeasement.
Okay. You know, Dharanidharan, I really appreciate what you've said, and I'm very happy that today Thiruparankundram, Lord Muruga, has brought you, you know, you are quoting Jayalalitha Jairam, you are quoting Sellu Raju, you are quoting AIDMK. Sometimes God does that, makes political adversaries into friends.
No, which I always do.
Yeah, very good. I mean, I'm appreciating you. I'm not kind of, you know, saying anything bad about that. It's great. It's Lord Murugan. After all, your party did the Murugan World Conference. We all know what devotees of Murugan you are. But I have two questions to ask you. And Kalyan Raman, sir, thank you for your patience. I'll come to you in just a minute, sir. Thank you so much. I'm asking you this, that if you look at it from the legal prism, Dharanidharan, the thing is that when the collector imposed section 144, it came after the single judge's order, which is that go ahead and light the deepam at the deepatun, that is the pillar. He never said you cannot light it at the Uchi Pilliyar. Uchi Pilliyar was also done by HRNCE. It is only when they were stopped from approaching the Deepatone is when he said, this is ridiculous, they are cocking a snook at the court's order. Isn't your party a party which adheres to what the court says? You can criticize it like you just now said, it's very unfortunate. But what is the need? After the single judge said, why are you so apprehensive about it that there'll be a law and order? You are preempting it. Why was there preemption, is my question to you.
If a law and order violation has happened, all of us would question the government saying, why did you not preemptively take action? Right, so government has to take preemptive actions based on the reports that we get, because it was not the devotees who are going to light the deepam. It is the people. It is certain anti-social elements were also involved. Was a suspicion. I'm using the word suspicion. So, in order to avoid such a situation, it is the duty of the government in place to make sure that the peace and tranquility prevails. Because people
the duty,
have voted for
is it not the duty,
which is why they were stopped.
Sir, is it not the duty of the state government to also give respect to Justice Swaminathan, who had told the petitioner to go ahead and light the lamp? How come there are different set of rules for different situations? Mr. Kalyan Raman, I'll come back to you, Dharanidharan. Kalyan
No, I
Raman,
think it's
sir.
an interesting question here. See, but I would like to answer. It's always a philosophical question on, do you take care of your people or listen plainly to an order made? I think it's a very philosophical question, but what is important and pertinent is that to make sure that the people are safe and that the religious disharmony is not affected. And we have seen precedent that in the 90s, from 90s onward, that BJP, before the state election, has been creating religious disharmony. That's the point to note. There is evidence and data to it.
Also,
of course, I know my friend Kalyan Raman will get furious over this comment, but I think it's a fact.
Kalyan Raman, sir, your opening comments on this, he says it's a very unfortunate. I will not comment on what the Honorable Court has said, but I somewhere think, and I'm going to quote Dr. Ambedkar here, when in 1949, you must have read his drafts where he said that this constitution is a mixture of tradition and modern. We borrowed a lot from other constitutions, but he said the basic is because we are so diverse, we can't go away from one from the other. It's a very new nation. In 1949, we were 2 years old, but he said traditions and modernity has to come together. I see that is what has been delivered today by the Madurai bench of the Madras High Court, sir. Kalyan Raman, sir.
There are two things we have to understand. Number one is that the dharma per se is ever evolutionary in nature, and also the law of the land. Okay. Now, the static elements like DMK will always have the problem of remaining and always under the apprehension that something will happen this way or that way based on their own understanding of across the country without knowing anything beyond the Tada border post of Tamil Nadu. This is the biggest problem with DMK. DMK's apprehension something will happen just because lighting of lamp will be, if it is permitted. It talks about the failure of intelligence on one hand. On the other hand, we have to see something that glaringly happened as far as the Thiruparankundram hill issue is concerned. First and foremost, the DMK planned and sent the Waqf board chairman Nawaz Kani to Thiruparankundram hill for godforsaken reason. I don't know why. He went up, came down, had biryani, put the picture on his Twitter to show that he is indulging in a not so sanctified act of eating biryani in Thiruparankundram hill, which is revered by the Hindus. It was a deliberate ploy and attempt by the DMK to ensure that some amount of communal unrest is created, and that DMK starts speaking in favor of Muslims so as to appease them, so that TVK...
Perfect, sir. And that case in February, where Mr. Of course, Annamalai also tweeted a lot and spoke a lot about it. I think that was settled. I want to today focus on this, sir, on this judgment, Kalyan Raman, sir, please.
I am just trying to give you the chronology of
We
events
know that,
because
sir.
he is trying to go back to Tamil Nadu, across the country. So, coming to the question of the current judgment, is HRC or Stalin, or for that matter DMK, or for that matter any previous practice is removed or void off the moment the court delivers a judgment, unless otherwise you go for a stay, and the stay is granted by either the superior bench, that is a double bench or triple bench or five bench, or by the Supreme Court. After doing nothing of that kind, but going for an impeachment directly, will the DMK have guts now to go against the two judges for an impeachment? Is that the way they are going to do now? See, these people don't know anything about law.
Right.
This is the problem of maybe the only thing that they wanted to try and do was to appease the Muslims of Tamil Nadu.
Well, I don't think that was the only reason. I mean, the ideology of that is not the only, I mean, it could be a reason.
That is the only reason now with the elections approaching in the next
sure,
2-3 months
sure.
to come.
You know, I do not know why Muslims are brought right to as if, first of all, Muslims don't vote en blanc.
Why did they send Nawaz Kani to the hill?
They did not send it. Is there police evidence, sir? Is there evidence, sir?
Somebody,
Is there evidence, sir?
Is there? Allow me for 30 seconds.
Yeah, go ahead.
There was one Sikandar Basha who was the
Sir,
then
we go into
governor of
history.
Madurai, was butchered.
Yeah, ancient
He was
history.
butchered by Kumara Kampanna
All right, sir.
in 1378.
Sir, Dharanidharan,
Why would you have a dargah of somebody who was killed in a war?
Right, right. I mean, yeah. Dharanidharan, I want to come to you. You know, the bench also said that the appellants, including the state authorities and the dargah, failed to produce formidable evidence to show that any Agama Shastra prohibiting the lighting of the lamp. You guys went to court without proper proof. You said that Deepatun is actually a Jaina edict. And of course, there is proof, historical proof of that. I will only go by empirical evidence. But the court somehow feels you went ahead and what the court says as ridiculous. Oh, there'll be law and order problems. You cannot light the lamp in Deepatun, etc., etc. Then you say it's a Jaina thing, then the Waqf board. The thing is that you messed it up terribly. And once again, I'm saying that you cannot remove faith from this country. Faith is something which this country adheres to. And Thiruparankundram, which, if you talk to people there, they said there is the Sikandar Badusha Dargah. Our temple is here. We are, you know, they do their urs, we do our festival. The point of the matter is that you were not prepared. Your legal team did not prepare well at all. And I wonder, for going forward, when you say that this is a very unfortunate order, I wonder what kind of preparation will you have when you take it further.
See, we have got a lot of success when it comes to legality. In fact, the judgment in which the Supreme Court set time frame for governors to give a verdict was a historic hallmark verdict. Similarly, we have gotten a number of verdicts, right, which has changed the course of the country, rather how the Constitution is also interpreted. So this is one-off case where there are many other factors involved. Of course, the Supreme Court will come up with a verdict. Firstly, I would like to refute the claim that Nawaz Kani was sent by the DMK. First of all, he is not sent by the DMK. He represents the IML, though he's an alliance partner. He has even refuted the claim of having ascended the hill. And this Thiruparankundram temple is an example, not just in India, across the world, for religious harmony, where both Hindus and Muslims live in harmony. If you go to the foothills, you can see both Hindus and Muslim shops coexisting. When the Deepam is lit, even the people from Dirgah are part of it. Whenever there is festival happening, right, both the people of both religions attend the same. Even for events in Dargah, the Hindus have attended. That is the beauty of the temple, beauty of Tamil Nadu. We do not want anyone to destroy the communal harmony that has been existing peacefully in Tamil Nadu for decades. That is very important. And the people who have also been the petitioners are not the people who go.
You cannot say we do not want peace to be disturbed in Tamil Nadu. You have to ensure, because you are in power. And you should have ensured that even
yes,
first of all,
the
court, sir, I'm only quoting the court, sir. Dharanidharan, sir, I'm only quoting the court, sir. They say that it's a knee-jerk. I'm paraphrasing it, not verbatim. I'm not. They say that it's a knee-jerk reaction. A, ridiculous, ghost of apprehension. These are terms used by the Honorable Court. I am not saying it. Second, my 2 bits in this is, you impose section 144 despite Justice Swaminathan saying, let the petitioner go with 10 people. There is disturbance there. There is breaking of barricades. You then go ahead and say, oh, other people have, come in. What was your administration doing, sir? Your collector called Justice Swaminathan's entire contention a figment of imagination. Can't you see that it all became one-sided, Dharnidharan, sir?
No, you shouldn't call me sir. I'm much younger to you in age.
It's not, but you seem to be very wise. You seem to be very wise, and therefore the honorific. And I will call you sir because you're trying to be wise, and I respect you for your wisdom. Go ahead, Salem Dharnidharan.
No. The courts will adjudicate, the government will administer. And there are times when you have to take decisions in the greater interest to maintain harmony. Right. What if the order was that day followed and if it resulted in a communal disharmony and people have died? These are the questions. At no cost can a life be lost over these matters. That is of profound importance for my Chief Minister.
Are you going against what the court said, Dharnidharanji? That that it is not ridiculous, it is not the ghost of apprehension. Are you refuting what the court said? Will the court not know whether it is important to save the life and dignity of every individual? I don't think your argument seems to be, it seems very tepid.
I'll answer this. Only God can tell. Only God
but
can
you don't
tell
believe in
what
God.
Would have happened.
But you don't believe in God. Your party doesn't believe in
God.
God. What is this? Clearly, your party doesn't believe in God. No, you are atheist. You are atheist. You don't believe in God. Kalyan Raman, please come in. They're very tepid argument today. You don't believe in God, sir. What's the point? Kalyan Raman.
No, 10 seconds.
Sure.
Sudha, 10 seconds more. I just want to make one line, you can answer that also.
Sure.
I am saying the judiciary is not God to say what would have happened if they were let to light the Deepam. We don't know what would have happened. Judiciary is not God. It's very wrong to say that the DMK does not believe in God. And what did Anna say? Oruvane Kulam, Oruvane Deivam. There is one God. Right? So DMK does not discriminate against people based on religion. And we do not
allow the lighting of a lamp. The court also said lighting of the lamp is to bring light into the lives of people. I light a lamp twice a day. I mean, I could be someone who's very, very secular. The court said, and I believe in it, lighting of a lamp brings light into the lives. What you've done is, what you did was, I think your plan went awry. Kalyan Raman, sir, you, and then I have to close this debate, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Any court goes by 4 elements called facts, figures, logics, and evidence.
Yes.
The DMK goes by assumptions, presumptions, and imaginations. This is the problem. They work exactly against the legal system, the constitution, which is precisely why they have been trying to deny the Hindus the right to light a lamp when the whole hill is supposed to be, or it is clearly evidenced that it is owned by Lord Muruga or Kartikeya, but for the small portion which is called Sikandar Dargah, which we respect, which we rather allow. The reason being that it was established maybe 100, 200 years back at best, whereas this Hillock has been a temple for over 4,000, 5,000 years as per the belief system is there. So if the DMK is not going to go in line with facts, figures, logics, and evidence, what they themselves call itself as rationalism, only Jhalam Dharnidharan will have to consider that there is a God that is existing and later on interpret it as differently. Thank you.
Your impeachment plea over 100 MPs against Justice Swaminathan, I do not know.
No, they have to go and impeach.
Both are not related.
We'll see.
They are not absolutely related.
Like Mr. Kamraj said, Parkalam. We will see. Thank you very much.